Hey guys, welcome to RC Fantasy. I'm Masa. And this car is a Tamiya TT01E drift spec. And this car has been sitting on my shelf for more than a couple years. So I wanted to do something with it and turning it into something different. So yeah, like I said, this is a drift spec. It sits really low, but I want to change it. And basically, I'm putting these knobby tires and longer suspension. So basically, I'm making it a rally car. And of course, I'm gonna change the body from this Nissan to another Nissan. This is a 240Z with Pandem body kit on it. And of course I'm gonna have some graphic on it and also supercharger and exhaust. So it's gonna look pretty wild and more fun to look at. In this video, I'm showing you the process of the conversion, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm starting with the chassis conversion. So change the shocks to longer one and change tires. But before changing tires, I have to do something on the drive shaft. Basically, I have to cut the joint cup. So this is gonna hit the suspension arm. So I have to cut this portion, and also I have to trim this under tray thing like this to clear the suspension arm. So now it hits, so it limits the suspension stroke. So I have to trim this off so it can sit higher. You know, it can sag. The suspension can sag lower and the chassis can sit higher from the ground. So that's basically all I'm gonna do on this chassis. So yeah, let's do it. Alright, I took the tires and bumpers off and I replaced the shock on the front. And actually I noticed that on the front, the joint cup isn't really hitting anything. I can rotate the axle freely without touching anything. So maybe I don't have to cut the joint cup on the front. But on the rear, yeah, it hits for sure. It's not rotating, it's locked. So yeah, for sure, you have to trim the joint cup on the rear to make a long enough stroke like this. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off. I mean, trim it off. Alright, these are all cut, so put them back onto the chassis. Let's check if it rotates, no problem. Full compression works. Full extend works. Yeah, it works. Great. But let's do the same thing on the other side. put it back on. Now let's see the stroke, how it sits on the ground. Alright, I had my bumper part cut out like this. Let's see section on the side. So now you can see suspension moving a lot more than before. Before cutting the bumper, suspension goes only this much, and now it goes this much. Now it has decent stroke. Yeah, it sits pretty high to the ground. You know, I can make my fingers through the chassis, between chassis and ground. So it's about an inch high. Alright, I have put this supercharger and exhaust pipe on the body. Now it looks more like a Mad Max or some sort. And I also put this masking tape. These are indication of logo placements, like tire logos or Datsun logo or things like that. I'm gonna put large masking tape on top of this marking and trace the line on the masking tape, so I can make a graphic data out of the, you know, masking tape shape. But let me do this. All right. So you can see the curvature. So I'm gonna, you know, bend the graphic logo, you know, to line up with this line. So when you put the graphic back on the unit, it perfectly, you know, matches the line. So yeah, I do the same thing on all these logos. Okay, I trace all the markings, so I take a photo of this and take it to Photoshop. I took it to Photoshop and adjusted the size of it, then move it to the Illustrator and made all the logos to fit the logo shape. Here I made all the logo data and I take it to the quick cut plotter machine and have them all cut. Alright, this is the graphic that I had it cut and I already applied it on my body, so this is how it looks with the graphic on it. And I kind of feel like it's a little too much contrast. Maybe I'm gonna have it a little more lower contrast in between body color and the graphic, make it a little more subtle. And maybe I'm gonna have it more like a matte finish on the body surface. So I'm gonna apply this smoke tint. I'm gonna spray it from the outside, so yeah, it'll look more dark and low contrast. Now the paint is done. I put the smoke coat on it and painted the muffler tip so it has nice weathered look. So it has more, post-apocalypse kind of feel to it. So now it's completed.